I have a frown on my face from the emptiness I felt coming to myself. I had a frown on my face, but now it is gone because you are still here. Focus, you must focus. Focus, everything will be alright. I have a smile on my face. It wasn't really there 15 minutes, I don't care. I have a smile on my face. With so much going on, how can I be strong? Make believe. Focus, everything is getting closer now. I am so afraid goes a song I used to know. You know what the next word is, I don't have to show. It's alright, it's alright, I guess. I am so afraid of something in my head. You may know the word, but now it's lost to me instead. I don't remember thinking I don't know what it means anymore. All right. Hi. Here, let me switch. So, oh, it's a little dark. Let's turn on some lights over here. Oh, there we go. So, hi, everyone. Well, this is going to be bad. I had this thought that I was going to do a rehearsal, but I wound up doing a writing session right before I started, and I was working on a song. And I didn't want to stop what I was doing, and the stream was about to start, and I was like, no, I'm not going to stop now. But it's a important thing to bring up because something happened on Sunday that was kind of cool, and it changed everything that I'm doing in this room. So I guess what I'm going to do is show you what I'm doing here. So, number one, I fixed the mics, and I love the way the mic sounds. It sounds gorgeous. I don't know if it sounds gorgeous on your end, but it sounds gorgeous on my end. I like it a lot. And so that was one thing I really liked. And then I was working on the mic on Sunday, and I was trying out these very different ways of basically amplifying this microphone, this particular mic, because it has this sort of like a lo-fi fuzzy sound, and I always liked it. But it was weird. I went on a walk. I took some really weird pictures. I remember that was part of it. And the reason I say I remember as if I'm in a haze is because what happened was when I came back, I was in a weird haze, and I put this I'm in a haze machine together, which, as you can hear, it samples me on the fly every time. It samples this particular mic. Do you understand what's happening? So no matter what I do, on this basically that was as you can no matter what I on the fly. Yeah, it samples everything on the fly, including notes. So if I and drums. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I can even put effects. Hey. And it samples those too. And it's a different machine that I was kind of working on Sunday, but that one circuit bends the sound too, which I've always been into circuit bending. And I'm glad Steve's here because he knows what I'm talking about. If you've never heard of circuit bending, I'm going to explain it. I will explain. Circuit bending is when you open up toys and things of that nature, and you basically find points in the circuitry by connecting things that normally would not be connected. And then weird things happen to it. Now, obviously, bad things can happen. I burned out a keyboard doing that. But I figured out a way to do it on the computer so that the computer would circuit bend the noise as it comes in, which is kind of cool. But anyway, Sunday, I was working on this kind of stuff, and I was feeling very experimental. And this weird thing happened where I literally wrote an entire EP. And I don't know how it happened, but it did. And all the words came out on the fly. The recording was done on the fly. I played everything live, and it just worked. And I don't know why it worked, but it just did. Everything worked. From the first song to the last, everything just worked. And before this night is over, I'll play you that entire thing. I'm just going to play it so that you hear the entire thing. I'm not going to do like track by track or anything like that because I don't think it deserves to be heard that way. But what's really cool though, and I'll explain it. It's not that I'm saying the EP's done, here it is, it's finished. No. But what I can say is that I have a blueprint, and it's a very good blueprint. And now I can go back, and I made notes of like, is it delay still? No, good. I made a blueprint so that basically now I can go back song by song and refine the idea. But the beauty of it is I will never be able to replicate what happened on Sunday because everything was live. And I mean everything. There was no overdubs. There was nothing. So any mistakes I made, any words I said, anything that I sung was on the fly. And, you know, at first I thought it was like a novel thing. Like, okay, I did it. Cool, whatever. But I went back the next day and listened to it, and I realized, like, it really works. For me, it works. I'm not saying it's going to work for everyone. It's about, I mean, I don't know how to explain that part, and I don't want to give it any legs that don't deserve legs. All I'm saying is you were hoping for Omnichord. Well, you came to the wrong one. It's not going to be this one. It needs batteries, a power supply, and I think it's buried under something. I don't even know where the heck it is. Anyway, you interrupted me with that thought, Steve. But I'm glad you're here. So yeah, I mean, it was really strange. I felt like I was on a roll, like a really cool roll. And look, I've written songs last year a lot. I wrote a lot of them. But it wasn't quite like this because I felt everything came together so well. And it wasn't in the park, by the way, because when I wrote stuff in the park, those demos are really shoddy. And, you know, I knew they were shoddy. It was like I'm using the built-in mic on the laptop. I'm in the park. I can hear everything. you know, birds chirping and whatnot. And to some degree, I wanted those sounds in there. But this was different because I had a very clean recording of everything I was doing. And it felt good. And I could see where the production was going to go next. So while I'm waiting for the 12-inch to come in, which is obviously a big deal, anxiously still waiting for the Dead Stars 12-inch to come in. And also we're working on the CD version, which is the other thing that's another project that's going on. Yes, and I still have to think about if the tribute CD, double CD is going to be worth doing because there's a lot of money and I don't know how we're going to budget all that stuff. So a lot of projects on my shoulders already. The NFT thing, I've been painting a lot. So I'm not going to say I needed to have an EP in my hand, but it happened. It just came and the entire day was spent on it. And I mixed it, mastered it, did everything I had to do to make that demo sound as good as I could make it. And I really like it for what it is. But it shows that I'm actually going in a weird direction. And I'm not sure that, you know, it's going to be a commercial thing. I can't say that it is, you know, but what the heck? I've got a 12-inch for that. I've got CDs for that. So I don't know. So anyway, what I'm going to do is try to set it up because I didn't even set it up. What happened was I was trying to set up for tonight. And like I said, another song idea came in and I was like, I better get that down. So that got recorded. I don't know if it's good or not, but it was an idea. So I wanted to get it. Wendy's funny. Thank you, Wendy. I will make sure that all the powers that be. By the way, if you ordered shirts and stuff like that, they've only been delayed because I ran out, but I have some more. But they're all to fill out orders. So it's been a busy week, man. Todd's asking if the Dead Stars CD version will have the same track listing as the vinyl. The answer to that question is yes. It's the same track listing as the vinyl, but with all the other remixes that are on the digital version. So I'm going through all the mastering side of that and all the artwork stuff too. This week I have to finish because otherwise the CD will come in later than the 12-inch and it's, you know, I don't know. I don't know what makes sense at this point, but I am working on it. There were some challenges with the artwork that I had to fix. So it's not perfect world. I'm sorry. No, but it was cool that we decided to do a CD version in the end. So I'm glad we did that. But anyway, while I set up that other thing, let me just save my work because I do want to save what I just did because that was spontaneous as it gets. By the way, if you want to see what this thing looks like, I will show you. In fact, I'll give you a little tour of it because what I find interesting, one second here. Sorry. Let me lower this a little. Oh, now that you don't have to. Oh, no, wrong way. Oh. There we go. To do a studio tour wouldn't work because everyone would not understand how I'm triggering everything because everything always looks the same, but the machines I'm triggering are always different. So this time I thought I would show you what the heck I'm doing. So it's going to be from right to left. No, from left to right. I can tell my right from left, I swear. But can you? Kidding. But I will do it from left to right. And you'll see what's going on inside this thing that I made. So hold on, let me put it on. Let's see if I can actually put it on. Can I put it on? You can see it, I hope, even though it's in black and white. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but it doesn't matter. So all those things are processing my voice in real time, which is why when I hit a note, you hear my voice coming through. Watch. Hey, 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 hey. So it's sampling me right now, and then as it samples me, it starts playing back stuff. And notice how everything pans from right to left by itself. I don't have to worry about that either because that's been programmed in by me. It's synced up to me, so no matter how slow I play or how fast, it's synced to my playing. And then the drums, same thing. And then of course I have bass too. And there's a mixer at the bottom. There's a bunch of things going on. The difference between this one and the one that I used on Sunday, let me turn that off, is that the one that I used on Sunday has the circuit bender in it. This one does not, which is really weird because it would bend the actual electronics. Like everything would be destroyed on some side of the record, wherever I wanted it to be. And it was all on the fly. It was so crazy. But anyway, I'm going to play it anyway, so you'll get to hear it. But I have to set it up. So what I'm going to do, I saved this already. Different kind of night, isn't it? So meanwhile, I need to play something so that I don't bore you peeps to death. So while I set the other thing up, I'm going to play something. I don't even know what this is, but whatever it is, it's something you probably will like. I don't know, maybe.
Blue little rose, you are crying. I am trying to let you know that I love you so, sweet little rose, that your petals sway. Garden where you grew up with me, I can set you free if you'll just run to me. All the thorns will go away if you'll stay with me, little all the thorns will go away if you'll stay with me.
Blue Little Rose by Cosmicity. I was going to say by anythingbox, which is really funny. But yeah, so that was Cosmicity doing Blue Little Rose, which is the only thing I had logged into my Wavelab just in case everything else went kablooey, because nothing else was planned for tonight. Like, I had no plans. You understand? There was no songs. There was no rehearsal stuff going on because even the lyrics from the last rehearsal are still up on the wall, because I was working on artwork for the Dead Star CD this week. So it's been just really busy. So yeah, I wasn't able to do anything with that. But like I said, Sunday, I had a real weird experience. So I'm going to share it with you. But because Steve's here, and it's a cool thing because it's not planned, but on occasion, Steve and I, or my friend Dan and I, would get in a car and we would play stuff. And you know, Steve was one of the first people to hear the second Diary album from beginning to end, because right after we were done mastering it, we got in his car and we drove around, and I remember playing it for him. I also remember playing one of the EPs that's on Bandcamp in Steve's car, and I just remember him saying, "Man, there's a lot of bass in that song." I don't know if you remember that, Steve, but this is going to be one of those kind of nights where I'm just going to play everything that I recorded on Sunday from beginning to end. I'm not going to go song by song. I'm just going to let it play. And when it's done, I don't know, then we can pick another song, or we can pick whatever else you want to hear. But I want you to see like the progress of what I'm doing, if that makes any sense. So that'll be a good time to either go to the bathroom, turn it off, and say, "Oh my God, this is not the anything box I knew," and all that kind of stuff. And I'm okay with that, because I'm going to explain when we're done and I come back, these epiphanies I've been having lately. What are you saying, Steve? My car back then had some nice bass. Oh, that's right. You have a different car now. Ha! Constantino said, Cosmicity talked about his differences with Claude. It's interesting. What's that, in the video that you posted? I haven't seen it. Ha, that's funny. No, it's not country, but it is highly experimental. All right, so anyway, let's pretend. So this is what would have happened. I would have been like, "Steve, now that you came over, let's go for a ride. I'm going to play you something." And then I would pop something in and we would just drive and just chat as we're driving. So we're going to experience it as if that's what's going on. But I will stay on the chat. I will chat with you. I will answer questions. And I'm going to turn on the overhead because it requires it, I think. So we're turning on the overhead. EP is locked and loaded. And I'm going to play it. Shotgun it is, Mean Gene. Oops. And it begins. Turn on the input. Turn on the input. All is the same. It's all a game. So turn on the input. Turn on the input. are broken. I was behind, now I know that it's fine to be broken. All this time, moving in circles, looks over shoulders, moving in line. You think you know all the answers, but you know it's mine. I don't know what's behind. You are broken. I will forget what it's like to regret when I'm broken. You won't forget, you will always regret. You are broken. Maybe you'll see what the machines will not read. You are broken. One note to find you, one life to make you, one note to find you, one life, one to make it again, to make once, one rule to break down, one rule break. You can't imagine breathing in circles in your own mind. Breathing in one room to make you, one rule to stake you, and after all the tears are gone, you made yourself believe you're wrong. I don't belong anymore. Always in your own place, everything is slowly fading. One word to bind you, one note to cancel, one life to end it, one word to find you. Break your heart, maybe you'll know the next time it will be easier. Break your heart, maybe you will bring the start of another day. You broke your heart So instead don't sing along, make a love song. Just sing along to the song. Just sing along to the new song. Just sing along and you'll be Just sing along to the new song. Please refer to the document below. This dinky song will so upset your day when you think of everything it says. The world would end, will end. The world must end for everyone. From the time you were born, a clock was set in motion. You can't escape because of time and motion. The world would end for everything. Now what will you do till you meet your end? This dinky song will so upset your world when you turn on your televised revision. The world will end forever. blood. The world shall end for you and me and them. The world will end for me and you and them. But there's no reason to be sad. You should go out and go mad to everything you set out. Dream real dreams and get them out. Make your things and get away. Look at the world in a holy way. Sit under a tree and smell the flowers. Make new friends and fight the powers. This stinky song will so upset your day. All of the silence is here. All of the fallout in distorted world. All of the fallout is here. All you have to do is tune into it. All of the fallout is here. All of these thoughts, they come from just 1 year. All of the feelings inside. Look in all the worst places and you will find. All of the fallout is here. All this distortion of data appears. All of the fallout is here. Everything you ever thought that no one would care. All in the open now. Everything you've ever feared is hanging outside. All of the fallout is here. All of the fallout is here. From 1,000 words to a billion tears, to a quadruple look in your eyes. Maybe your words may be nothing inside. What does it matter anyway? 'Cause all of the fallout is here. 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 output selector, moving in deflections. The output selector, with just one click, you see another world. The output selector, turn off the world and create your own. The output selector says what emotion you are allowed to have. The output selector, floating in space in an empty place. The output selector has been deflecting the fools in the grave. The output selector, floating in space in another place. The output selector, you don't have to know what it really means. The output selector, it's just the soul deflector. So dramatic. Oh my God, I can't believe I played that for you guys. So yeah, I wrote all this on Sunday. This was my Sunday writing session. And I wrote them in order, by the way, so that I played them back in the same order that I wrote them. Which is why, like when I was on the last one, I thought, I think this should be the output. If I started it with an input, it should start with an output. So I figured it out. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but made me happy. So if I can be honest, what I think happened was that I'd written so much stuff in 2020 that was all over the place, that I was really happy that this one particular day, I decided to record these kinds of things, because it happens to me a lot, but seldom do I record them. So I thought this time, just hit the fucking record button. Just hit it. You don't have to release it. It can just be whatever it is. And then, at least you have a demo. So what I did was I would go do the riff. The words would come out. I didn't write them down, by the way. And then I would just jam with it for a while, and I would hit record. And then when, obviously there's a start and stop, so I would know like when I was starting over. And then later I just pick the best of the 2 takes or whatever it was. I think the last song actually had 3 takes because I kept messing up something. And at the end, the weird bass thing. And so I did that one 3 times. But other than that, like Dinky, I did in one shot, which is funny. Even the words, which is like, they're just funny to me. But so the plan This is the plan. So I'm going to tell you what the plan is here. Now I know I have an EP. So I know that I liked all the songs from beginning to end. At least I did. Not that it matters if someone else doesn't like it. It's just, it is what it is. So now I'm going to take them one by one, and I figure I'll start with input, right? And now I will properly sequence it, meaning I'll play it again, but into the sequencer, sing it, then I can add drums and other weird things that I wanted to add, because I could hear the overdubs in my head of like, oh, if I, on the next pass, I add a weird, bass line thing that repeats, or, oh, that can use like a string that comes in slowly, or, obviously the production ideas come up, right? So that's why I'm hesitant to release it as it is, because I think if I do, people will get used to it. But there's this other side of me that says, what if I can't sing it the way that I sang it? Because these were live. So it's every time you do something live, you're never sure of how it's going to come out later when you go back into the studio. Some things translate, some things don't. But at least I know what I'm working on. So I figured I'll release it as is. It's a version that exists. And then I'll start working song by song. And I guess that will be the thing that pushes me to work on them, because I'll know that the demo's out there and I have to make it better, right? So I guess that's my challenge to myself. So that's my challenge. I'm going to try it. Ha, that's funny. Needs more cowbell. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a churner. The whole thing's a churner. It's not meant to be, a dance record. But it's one of those things where you have to understand something. I think we talked about this before. I saw a very interesting interview with Robert Smith. And he basically said the cure's over. And he said the cure's over because no matter what I write, people are going to just refer to the first 5 albums, and that's really it. There's no going over those hits. He says, and there's no point. I can't go back to that. And I thought about that, and I felt really bad for him that he thought that way, because then you take someone like Bowie, or you take someone like Prince, and you're like, well, that guy reinvented himself a million times, and he didn't give a rat's ass if someone liked this album versus that album. Like, everybody knows, like, the David Bowie songs that made it in the 80s, but not many people know the last album he did was really good. Not many people know that the Low album is really amazing. I personally like the 3 Berlin albums as my favorites. So my point is, I don't want to feel like I don't have anything to say, because it's not going to sound like Living in Oblivion. It's not going to sound like Kiss of Love and that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, those things exist. I don't have to rehash them, and I don't see the point in doing that. So I've also been wondering, like, these things that I hear, like, on some, because I'm in some forums and I come in and I'm like the lurker. I don't comment because it's just obvious I shouldn't comment for me. But I go in there and I just pay attention, and I hear a lot of, how do you compete with the young people doing the new stuff? There's people doing synthwave now, and like, where does synthpop fit in, and all this stuff. And the truth of it is, I don't want to make synthwave. That's not me. It's not that I don't like it. I don't see myself making that. The kids are doing it just fine. They don't need me to do that. I like IDM a lot, but I always thought that it didn't have a pop element. In other words, I love the structures, but I never liked that there was no vocals, and that whatever vocals there were, they were very sparse. So I thought, I'm going to work on really strange stuff. I want to go back to the late 1960s and the 77 to 81 period, because that's where my headspace is. but then bring in all the new elements that I know and not worry if it makes it on the radio, which is why on the one song I say I don't even care if I'm on the radio anymore. I don't really care about that. I mean, let's be honest. Living in Oblivion's always going to be on the radio, I hope. And if it is, it's great. If it's not, it's not. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just saying that if it does decide to stay there forever, it's there. So I don't have to worry about it. If anything, it acts as a beacon, albeit a bad one, right? Because then someone hears it and goes, oh, I want to hear more stuff by them. And then they come into my Bandcamp or the rest of the albums are like, what the fuck happened? They're just weird now. But, but the reality is I have to do new things and I have to feel good about doing new things. So, and I don't want to emulate what the new kids are doing because then I'm playing a weird competition game with them and I don't want to do that. I don't even have the desire to do that. So that's why I felt good about Sunday. Because the way I looked at it was, this is mine. This is so me. Like, who wants to do this stuff? Nobody. So good. So that's where it is. So now I have some sort of direction and I feel happy about it. So we'll see where it takes me. But I wanted to play it for you the way that I would play it for Steve. Because that's kind of how we would do it. I would just get in the car and pop in a CD of a burned bunch of demos and I would like just play it for him. Or my friend Dan. That's one of the things we used to do late at night was just like they would come to the studio and I would just play them a bunch of stuff, So, but I feel like the other thing about this kind of thing that I like is that, I mean, I did it all live. Like everything was done live. And I like that aspect of it too, which means I want to experiment with even more things going on. Like it would have been nice to have the string sounds ready. And, so I think I want to mess with that a lot more so that I can do a live set where basically everything's happening in real time, which is cool. I mean, I don't care that I rely on backing tracks. I really don't. But it's just that aspect of it would be nice to do like something really trippy. Like if I go play somewhere and I'm like, well, I'm going to sample your voices and we're going to turn it into something. And that would be kind of cool. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening to it because I just don't know what I'm going to do. I may release it. I think. I mean, I don't even have a title for it except my working title was this, which is kind of funny. What was it? Yeah. That was the working title. 024. Because it reminded me of a funny thing that happened to me, which I'm gonna tell you a funny story. But I think I'll play something first. I think I have something queued up. So I'm gonna play something so we can get to a different mood. So since we're staying with demos, I'll play you an old Abox demo. Some of you heard this before, but oh well. I'm going to play this and then gather my thoughts.
In a world
Yep, rehearsal. But you can hear like that's what I was doing a long time ago, was experimenting in that way. So it makes sense to come back to it now and like just do it different. I don't know. It just feels good. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I think I'm going to follow that where it leads. Wherever it leads, I'm going to follow it. But anyway, I thought it would be cool for you guys to hear it from beginning to end as a singular piece of music. I hope that wasn't a mistake, but there it is. That's the risk I took, right? But you know, it's funny because I had a friend of mine. I was talking to him on the phone, and you know, he said to me, "What if nobody likes it?" He says, "Just hypothetical, like nobody likes it. Like if everything is like if it's a commercial failure." And I thought about it, and I said, "It wouldn't be my first. It would definitely not be my first commercial failure. So I guess that's okay, right? I mean, okay, it doesn't work." And because you never know what's going to happen. You want obviously people to love what you're doing. I would hate to see like an artist that goes, "I purposely want people to hate this." There's people that think that way, but I'm not one of them. But on the other hand, you can't just go by vote. Because I think that becomes weird when it comes to music. Like, then you're not making the real thing. You're just making like a composite of like everyone's comments of what it should be. And if I did that, I'd wind up with another Living in Oblivion, and everyone would say, "Oh, it sounds like Living in Oblivion." It's like, great. It sounds like the first thing that I, put out. There's some people that do that. I mean, but I just can't, or I don't want to, or maybe I'm hard-headed. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, it has the working title 024, but I'm going to explain what I'm 024. Yeah. Which I'm going to explain what that means. So I had a very, very strange experience because I don't know if I should admit this. Maybe I shouldn't tell this story. Forget I said anything. Let's move on. I'll play a song. No, I'm kidding. So a friend of mine had given me a cookie, a particular type of cookie. It wasn't chocolate chip, but it was, if you know what I mean. So I had never really had a cookie quite like that before. So I didn't pay attention when he said, "Don't eat the whole thing." I remember him telling me, "Don't eat the whole thing. Make sure you break it up." So I broke it in half and I ate half. And for whatever reason, I wound up watching, I think it was Radiohead Live at Leeds or something like that on TV. And it was the trippiest experience I ever had with music, bar none. I'm not joking. It was the craziest thing that ever happened to me with music. At one point, I mean, I wanted to call my friend and say like, "What the hell is in this cookie?" Because first of all, I don't do that all the time. I don't, but that particular time I was just trying it out. It was legal. But anyway, so I have this half cookie. I'm trying to listen to Radiohead. And all of a sudden, I could just see his pedal on stage. And I was there. Like I was like sitting there by that pedal, just like watching this show. I was like a little clod sitting on a pedal. It was the funniest thing I've ever experienced on a cookie. So in the back of my head, when it was all over, like, 2 days later, when I'm thinking about it, I was like, I want to make something that makes you feel like that without the cookie. But if you did take the cookie, they would be like, totally fuck up your brain. So that's what I was thinking about. So Sunday, I didn't take anything. So there was nothing to take, but I was thinking about it a lot. Like the idea of like, oh my God, if I'd been on a cookie while I was writing this stuff, this would have been really nutty. Truly nutty. I probably wouldn't have been able to write anything. But the point I'm making here is I wanted to get that feeling that I was in, that mood of like being in the music. So I was like, yeah, let's just dial up a bunch of weird things that I can't control, because it's fun when I can't control what the sampler is going to do. It's not just it samples and I can hit a sample and it's going to play exactly what I played. It's different. It's unpredictable. I have no idea how it's going to behave. Even the drums, I don't even know how they're going to behave. The only thing that I have direct control over is the bass, which is my constant, and of course the vocal. But everything else, I actually have no control over it. Like I have no way of knowing what's going to hit and how it's going to hit. And that's kind of fun. So I made another decision. I'm definitely Claude Dazzleland. That's funny. That's funny, Steve. I made the decision that yes, I'm going to upgrade now to Ableton 11 because it's funny that this is synchronicity happening in real time. So Steve mentioned the little digital sounds that sounded like rain, and what I heard in some of the things that I was doing, just playing around with Ableton, was more of that, where I have a lot of control over what I want to lay down is easy. So I can say, okay, 4/4 beat. These are the hi-hats. This is going to be the drum set I'm going to use. These are the sounds I'm going to use, and I'm going to put it all together. It's going to be great. But I can randomize every aspect of it. I can say, don't play that. Just probable, maybe 60% of the time. Play that one 20% of the time. Do that thing 5% of the time. And then imagine if I take that and I add it to what's happening here. I think I'm going to come up with some even more interesting, chaotic, for lack of a better word, motion. So that's what I'm shooting for. So I think I'm going to upgrade to Ableton 11 this week, start learning it. And I'm going to start working on track 1, which is obviously input selector, which is easy because it's not that long. So I can actually start there and then work my way through the entire thing. And then I think that's what I'm going to do. But if you really think I should release the EP as it is as well, then I will. But I don't know. Should I? Should I do that? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to think about that. So, but I love Ableton. So it was designed for me, man. All I can tell you is it was designed for me. So when I tried 11, I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely going to do it. But been thinking only, of course, of also some hardware things, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I need to go in that direction. I'm feeling really happy with the setup right now, which is good, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to play something from, I think this is one of the sharewares, but I'll play this and then I'll come back. I'm turning on the overhead. In color. Oops, wrong one. I have watched the stars, they're fading, and the moon's my dark companion, fighting through this wilderness within. All along I've been so cold as an ocean without islands. Will I ever see all the light has faded out? All the light has faded out. All the light has faded out from me. And I'm standing stalled by the walls that keep me standing. Stalled by the walls, standing stalled by the walls that keep me stalled, standing tall, side the wall. Yep. I love echoes. I do. Delay is like my favorite. So can you imagine like finding out that there's delays that I can trigger grains from MIDI now? Which I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try all that stuff. But yeah. Yes, it was a weird line 6 pedal I had lying around, and I remember we just from a CD just played that into it, just effed with it, and then mixed it into the other thing. It was fun. But so about that cookie, so I'm going to tell you the other funny part about that whole thing. So now that I told you the story, and I think I may have told it before, but oh well. So it was about 4:00 in the afternoon. I took the cookie, ate the cookie, watched Radiohead. Then I watched Pink Floyd live at Pompeii. That was trippy too. And I was supposed to pick my girlfriend up from the airport at 10. So I took it at 4, watched the 2 concerts, fell asleep, and when I woke up, it was 12 o'clock midnight. And luckily for me, her flight was late because I woke up and I realized, oh my God. And then I had to drive to the airport, which was a disaster. Oh man. Which is why I don't really do that kind of stuff. Not made for me. But yeah, it was just a funny evening. But it's a trip. What I found out, I mean, and I don't know if this is for everyone that's ever done this kind of thing, but it had an effect on me in that now when I watch because I tried to watch Pink Floyd, that particular concert live at Pompeii, and it was trippy, man. Like watching it again, the feelings would come back, and I was like, yeah, I remember the exact feeling I was having. There's going to be this weird guitar sound that's going to come out of the right, and it's like, wow, I can hear it now. It's as if it opened up the hearing and made it like 10 times wider, if that makes sense. So anyway, but I thought it's a very interesting approach, but I've never ever been on it or been on anything while I was making music, ever. Like I've never been drunk while making music, um, so or anything of the sort. So that's never happened. So I can imagine that could be weird. So that might be something fun to try one day, just to be funny. Um, I don't have Grateful Dead DVDs. I don't. But it was actually YouTube. I was just watching YouTube, but it was just tripping me out. It was the funniest thing. Oh, I think I hear someone at the door. Hold on a minute. It's just ghosts. Right? Mr. Rogers moment. Oh, you guys are funny, man. Uh, so since we're on this trip of all the weird stuff, oh my god, you guys are funny, man. Quit it. Stop making me laugh. uh, anyway, all I can say is that Sunday was fun, man. I had a lot of fun on Sunday, and it stuck with me. So I think I'm gonna just work on that EP. I think I'm gonna do it, and that's it. Then I'm gonna start doing rehearsals next week again. So rehearsals will come back. Again, I think there's only 2 Quaranstreams left. Next week's and the one after. And then after that, they're not going to be called Quaranstreams anymore. But there's 2 more, so we can end on 60, even though it's really not 60, because I think I did more than that, but official 60. Yeah, the isolation, it's not so much that, look, I'm not isolated. I go out. But my friends, Steve moved to Florida, so I don't get to see him all the time. Paul's afraid to come out because I never see him either. I saw him once and it was trippy because he was scared half the time, so I don't get to see him. My friend Dan came out once, so I think we're going to probably see each other sooner than later. But it's just weird because I don't have as much interaction going on. I used to have people come into the studio all the time, and I kind of like that. And of course, I miss my friend Brooks, who passed away, and that used to be another thing that I could think of is I would call him on the phone and say I'm working on some weird shit, and he'd say, "Oh, grab some wine and cheese and come on over." And then I'd be over at his studio and we would chat. So I miss that too. But I'm channeling that into whatever's happening. So I think it's going to be all right. It is what it is, right? But so since we seem to be on this trip, I guess like I said, once rehearsals come back in again, because I was rehearsing for a while, then it got a bit tedious, dragging everything over there. So I've been rehearsing in here more. So maybe next week I'll do a rehearsal. And I'm going to try to work on the actual set So if you're from Denver and you know what you want to hear in the set, I would definitely shoot me some comments for next week's Quaranstream, because I'm going to try to put the set together for that show and kind of get things ready. And and by the way, I forgot to mention this, but so it looks like I'm going to be in Brownsville, Texas. It looks like I'm going to be in Dallas, Houston, and Chicago, all in November. So I think the last 2 weeks of November is going to be nice. I'm going to be all over the place, which is kind of cool, because that'll make me feel better seeing people and hanging out with you guys at the shows. I think that'll make me feel a lot better. And who knows, maybe by then the EP will be done. Let's hope. I'm going to work on this for sure. So I know we're maskless too. Crappy weather in Chicago then. Yeah, it gets kind of cold, and I think it's the rainy season, but I dig it because, I mean, it never rains here. Although I've been thinking it was going to rain for the last 2 days and it didn't. The extra pressure that I felt from the weather triggered a migraine from hell in the last couple days, which has sucked. But again, I had Sunday, so I was all good. Anyway, so I'm going to play another one from the shareware, because I guess that folder is open. So I think I'm just going to play stuff from shareware, since that's not out anywhere. So for those that don't have it, you get to hear it again. So this is Scared Part 1 and Part 2. And I'm going to... I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing this? Yeah. What happened to the cameras? Uh-oh. No, we're still live. Okay. I saw a red light. I got scared. Okay. So let's play it.
Do you feel scared? Do you feel scared? Anyone can see. You know it's true. Do you feel scared? Everyone's here. Anybody knows the weakness all around. And though my dreams are falling down, I know my world is upside down again. Do you feel scared? Do you feel scared? Anyone can see my world is falling down. That's it.
And I'm really loving this, but it doesn't matter
when you're feeling down.
So funny. I'm trying to like type and I realize I'm switching cameras left and right, which is funny. Still managed to screw it all up. You got to realize I have no engineer here. There's nobody. It's just me. It's funny because I watch some of these YouTube channels. Different people I really admire. I like them. But it's funny how they have these like really fancy cameras and it's always like, you know, aimed at the fingers and it's like right when they're going to move a fader, it's right on there. I'm like, how do they, it's like they have to film that ahead of time, obviously. And you have to set up all the different cameras to do it with. And I'm trying to do it live on the fly because I don't want to do videos and then like just put them up. I want it to be real live. So I'm trying to figure that out too. Like, maybe I need a camera switcher. So it's funny. It's just funny to me. All of it is funny. Life is funny. But no, I'm not on anything. I've just got that energy. But so yeah, we're coming to the end. We're coming to the end of the Quaranstreams, and then it won't be called that anymore. I don't know what I'm going to call them yet, but I know they're not going to be called Quaranstreams anymore. Unless, of course, we're one of those kooky states that decides they want to lock everyone up again. Although currently we're not. Which I have to tell you, it was funny. I walked into the supermarket yesterday with a mask on, forgetting that the mandate's out. And I thought it was really funny because I saw people not wearing masks and I was like, hey, they're not getting in trouble. So I'm like, yeah, I could take this thing off now. Anyway, I took it off. It was funny because one of the people that I see all the time where I get my coffee was like, that's what you look like. And I'm like, wait, you mean you never saw my face before? Like, it was the funniest thing, man. But anyway, yeah, we're supposedly, we can go and, commingle, supposedly. But some people still wear them and it's fine. I don't care. I'm not one of those people like I get mad if someone asks me to wear a mask if I walk into a restaurant. I don't give a shit. I'll just put it on. I just don't wear it when I'm outside ever. But I thought it was funny, like seeing people unmasked in the store. It was a weird feeling. It was almost like, oh yeah, that was our world. It's such a trippy feeling if you think about it, right? Like our world just changed. So, yeah. So, but alfajores. Are there such things? Treated? I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But no, I couldn't get cookies anymore. For some reason, you can't get them anymore. I couldn't find them anyway. But yeah, sometimes you go to You're funny, Steve. Steve says, sometimes you go to a website and need to enable cookies, apparently. But cookies enable him. Thank you. Oh, that shit's funny. And I'm not even on cookies right now. But that was funny, Steve. I am enabled by cookies. By the way, I code bend too, which is really funny. But anyway, I turned off reactor, so I couldn't do that I planned to do right there. Oh, well. Anyway, look, it's been a good night. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to play one more, and it's not going to be from the shareware. This is like, I don't know what the hell I put this on, but it's also a demo. I think, okay, this is the second recording of Soul on Fire. That's what I'm ending it with. And after that, I'm just saying goodnight now. Okay. But I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you got to listen to the EP earlier. If you didn't, you can watch it when it restreams tomorrow. And I'm not going to edit the EP part out. I think I'll leave it in there. So it's there. And I will release the demo. I will. But I'm also going to make sure that I record it proper because I think it deserves it. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I might do it and it just doesn't even work. And the demo would just stay as it is. So it is what it is. But I'm going to play this last song. Turn on the weird overhead. And flash this. And then after that, it's good night. But I'll chat with you while the song's playing.
Unsere Liebe ist verlieren.
And with that, good night.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?